No! Yo, what up? Hope y'all having a blessed month of Spooktober. Today we're talking about Fiend Without a Face from 1958, based on the 1930 short story The Thought Monster. It's a British film but takes place mostly around an American military base. When a series of mysterious deaths start occurring around town, our main group of characters cannot help but suspect there's some supernatural phenomena taking place. Most likely aliens. There are aliens in this. Kinda. It was directed by Arthur Crabtree, who worked as a cinematographer before he was a director, and this is apparently one of his last films before he passed in '75. Fiend Without a Face was a B-movie in the 50s. This is actually one of the few I've seen that is a B-movie, and I totally see it, and the film kind of can't help but to be that. There are many moments that are so unintentionally hilarious. I found myself laughing every once in a while. There's not much of substance execution wise, and you see people die, and that's basically it. I think one of the factors that contributed to that is the fact that no one ever talks over one another. Every scene, no matter the content, people always finish their sentence before the next person starts talking. And I get it, it was the 50s. There's probably zero to none films that had people talking over one another. It was not until Altman came along in the late 60s did Hollywood start accepting, oh wow, people can talk over one another. That's crazy. So you get hilarious moments like this.
Yes, sucked out like an egg through those two holes. That's not all. The entire spinal cord is missing.
But it's incredible. It's as if some mental vampire were at work.
Anyway, so you have that in place. The fact that so many scenes are shot with characters not really moving around the set and the always delaying editing just make everything so much more awkward than it actually is. Everyone is just waiting for their turn to talk.
Gibbons!
And I'm not saying that this is the only film during that era that did this. Clearly, there are many incredible films that came before this one that didn't have overlapping dialogue either. It's just the execution of this one didn't make it any better. But the stop motion effect apparently was really good for that period. Some say the effects were way better than they actually needed to be, considering what the film is per se, but you give credit where the credit is due. Most of these animation sequences were directed by Ruppel, I think that's how you pronounce it, and Nordhoff in Munich, and they are the most celebrated part of the entire movie. They made a pretty ingenious move of having the creatures to be invisible for most of the runtime. You don't see this thing until the very end, even though I think they look kind of goofy and not so horrifying at all. It still got me anticipating it. It does the job. Overall, I know this is a short one, but there's not much to talk about. The dialogue is not so well executed editing wise, staging and blocking wise, and writing wise. They are corny at best, super on the nose. Everything that comes out of our hero's mouth is exactly what's gonna happen in the following hour of this thing.
Do you?
What the heck? I'm human. We're all human here. We're not monsters from outer space.
The characters are generic and formulaic. Even though it is a horror sci-fi movie, as you see more and more people die around town, you still don't feel much at stake. The B-movie elements seep through with the relationship drama you barely care about, but it's definitely watchable. It's pretty harmless. It's short. Go ahead and watch it if you're interested and, have a good laugh. I'm thinking a decent 2.5 on this one.